You lived an entire life before you understood what money actually was, and every instinct you built during that time is wrong. Most people assume that if they ever came into serious money, they would finally make the right moves, pay off debt, help the family, invest the rest, be smart about it. That is not what happens. What actually happens has been studied, documented, and repeated so consistently that financial psychologists gave it a clinical name. And unless you know what it is before the money arrives, you will follow the exact same sequence. It is a Tuesday morning, your alarm goes off, and you silence it before it wakes anyone. You are already running through your mental checklist: rent, groceries, that weird noise your car has been making. When the notification from your banking app appears, you open it half asleep, a 1 followed by 6 zeros, $1 million. You close the app, open it again. The number does not move. You sit on the edge of your bed doing math you have never done before. How many years of your salary is this? By every definition that has ever mattered, you are a millionaire. For about 12 seconds, everything feels different. Then the clock starts, and you do not hear it. You go to work, same commute, same parking lot, same elevator. You sit through the same meetings, answer the same emails, nod at the same people, but you are floating 3 inches above everything. You have a secret, and the secret makes every ordinary thing feel slightly absurd. Why are you even here? You have $1 million. That thought is the first trap, not the money. The story your brain builds around the money before you have done a single intelligent thing with it. The moment you start living in that version of your life instead of the actual one, the clock gets louder. Friday arrives. You tell yourself you are being reasonable. Your laptop was dying anyway. New MacBook Pro, $2,700. Your sneakers had holes. You replace them, $350. Your friends want to go out, and you pick up the entire tab because it feels incredible to be the person who does that. $400. You do not flinch. What is $400 when you have $1 million? This is where your real financial education begins. What is happening has a name. Economists call it lifestyle creep. When you are broke, you calculate every purchase in hours worked. A $70 dinner is almost 2 hours of your life. But the moment you have a large sum, your brain stops calculating in hours and starts calculating in percentages. $400 is 0.04% of your balance. It feels like nothing, and 1,000 things that feel like nothing will empty an account just as completely as one catastrophic decision. 3 weeks pass. You check your balance. $880,000. You have not bought a single thing that will be worth more tomorrow than it is today. Every dollar went into something that started losing value the moment you touched it. But the spending is only half of what is coming for you. You did not announce the money, but you paid for dinner. You showed up in different clothes. Your mom calls about a medical bill. You cover it before she finishes the sentence. $60,000. It feels like the best thing you have ever done. Then your brother texts about rent. A college friend needs seed money for a business idea. Your cousin sends a long message you cannot ignore without feeling like a bad person. Financial psychologists call this sudden wealth syndrome social burden. It is brutal not because the people asking are bad, but because every request arrives wrapped in a relationship you actually care about. You're not being manipulated, you're being loved, and you are funding that love with your principal. You give out another $100,000 across 4 people, knowing most of it is not coming back. Your balance is $730,000. The invincibility's gone. You can feel the edges of the money now, and that awareness makes you desperate in a way that feels exactly like ambition. You decide the money needs to work faster. You want the $1 million back. You skip every finance book and go straight to whatever moves. A guy from college has been posting screenshots for months. Green numbers, big percentages. He reaches out. Crypto opportunity, he says. You transfer $200,000 telling yourself you are only risking what you can afford to lose, knowing that is not true. For 11 days, the numbers go up. You check the app constantly. You feel like someone who finally figured it out. Then it moves the other direction. Fast. The kind of fast that makes your hands go cold. The group chat slows down. Your $200,000 is now worth $38,000. You sell in a panic at exactly the moment you were designed to sell. You just provided what traders call exit liquidity. You paid someone else's profit with your fear. You are sitting in the dark staring at $560,000. In under 6 months, you turned $1 million into just over half that. Not through one big mistake, through the exact predictable sequence that plays out for the vast majority of people who receive sudden money without a framework. Here is where everything changes. Not because something good happens, because you stop. You get a pen, paper, 3 words at the top. Protect, eliminate, deploy, protect first. $150,000 into a high-yield savings account at Marcus by Goldman Sachs or Ally Bank, earning 4 to 5% annually. This is not an investment. This is your moat. 6 months of living expenses, untouched. If you lose your job, if your transmission blows, you do not sell your investments in a panic. You live on this. That one boundary separates people who build wealth from people who watch it collapse the first time life gets expensive. Eliminate second. You have $19,000 in credit card debt at 24% annual interest. No investment legally available to you will reliably return 24% annually. Every dollar sitting in that debt costs you more than any dollar you could put to work elsewhere. You wipe it completely. A guaranteed 24% return, invisible, permanent, zero risk. Now you have $391,000. Your brain will say start a business. Resist it. Starting a business with money you cannot afford to lose in an industry you have not studied while emotionally raw from losing nearly $500,000 is not entrepreneurship. It is the same impulse that sent you into the crypto group chat wearing a better outfit. Over 80% of businesses launched with sudden unearned capital fail within 3 years. You deploy across 3 positions instead. All boring, all working while you sleep. $130,000 into a target date index fund inside a Roth IRA. You are not picking stocks. You are buying fractional ownership in thousands of companies simultaneously. When one collapses, the others absorb it. Over every 20-year window in documented market history, this has outperformed the majority of actively managed funds. You're not trying to beat the market. You're trying to own a permanent tax-free piece of it. $130,000 into a taxable brokerage through Fidelity or Schwab, split between a total market index fund and a real estate investment trust ETF like VNQ. REITs must distribute at least 90% of their income to shareholders quarterly. No tenants, no repairs, no midnight calls. You are collecting income from apartment complexes, warehouses, and medical facilities across the country. $131,000 into a treasury bond ladder through Treasury Direct, 6-month, 1-year, and 2-year T-bills rolling continuously, yielding 4 to 5%, backed by the federal government. When the market does what markets do, this earns its rate and waits. This is your ballast against panic. 3 years pass. Same car, same weird noise you never fixed, same jacket from 2 winters ago. To every person you pass, you look identical to who you were before the money arrived. But you are not the same person. Your phone buzzes at a red light. Quarterly REIT distribution cleared. Your Roth IRA has climbed through a correction, a rate hike cycle, and an election year. Your T-bills rolled at favorable rates. $391,000 has been working quietly without requiring your anxiety. Your boss calls a meeting, raises his voice, makes it clear no position is guaranteed. 3 years ago, that sentence would have hollowed you out. You would have apologized, worked the weekend, said whatever made the threat feel smaller. Today you feel nothing shift. You look at him, nod once. Go back to your desk because you already know the numbers. Emergency fund covers 6 months. Quarterly distributions cover utilities and groceries. You're not retired, but you're not trapped. And the distance between trapped and not trapped is the entire game. The money was never for the MacBook. Never for the tab, never for the screenshot that made your pulse jump. It was for this specific ordinary Tuesday when someone tried to remind you that your survival was in their hands, and you sat there knowing with complete certainty that it was not. Most people who receive sudden money spend it trying to finally look like the person they always believed they were supposed to be. The ones who keep it spend it making sure no one can ever use their survival against them. That is the move. It was always the only move. And now you know exactly what it looks like before the money ever arrives.